Okay, we should be good to go. Alright, we're here. Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I hope the day was restful and or productive for y'all. Um, Sorry I'm a little late. I was fixing an issue over on Gilded, and things like sidetracked me. But it should be like actually handled now, which is good. So, hi Sabira, hi Stubby, hi to anybody else that's lurking. Um, my brain is a little fried today. I was running some sets in some fighting games earlier today in between coordinating a very special thing that we're going to be doing on Friday. Um, we're actually going to be playing more Under Night 2 on Friday, but there is a program that I became aware of called Daredrop. And the thing that they basically do is, hey, complete these challenges on stream, send us these things in order to have them verified, and if you get them verified, you get rewards that you can then give out to your viewers. So because I already happen to have Under Night 2, um, basically speaking, any keys that I get from doing the dare drop thing with that, I'm going to give them out to the community. That's the plan. Uh, so we're going to be playing Under Night on Friday, but like I'm in between planning that and like figuring and just making sure that I could like get all that sorted out, as well as another drop for Dare Drop and like doing games and stuff. My brain is a little bit like, but we're in there. So, announcements wise, some things to talk about. Aside from that, right now we are aiming for. When I say we, I mean Unity, like the co-op that I'm doing Shoot Lantern with. So that includes like Little Draconis. If you've been over to her stream before, so if you've been here, you know her. And a couple of the other people that I'm collaborating with for that. We're looking to have our itch demo out by like end of March. So we're hitting deadline. We're going to be grinding deadlines tonight. Me actually pull up the. Right, that's what I meant to go pull up, and I got distracted because my brain. I need to pull up the production plan on the screen that y'all can't see, so that I can sit down, look at what I need to be doing, and then knock it out. Because I'm pretty sure I can at least knock out. Here we go. Production plan template should be. I am the program side. I done. That was already done. So they're gaming for them. Okay, right. So we'll do that. That's the plan for today. At crunch. I think I can knock out at least the things that are relatively like level clear and game over are like the two things that I'm really trying to like knock out today, and those I think I can do relatively easily. Um, it's just state machine stuff and making sure that's handled correctly. Um, but level clear is probably going to be easier to do. So let me go over to the HUD. Player info, boss info. We're going to need add child node. We're going to do a control node. Start time is 6:40. Mark that. It is 6:24. 6:40 p.m. 2. Okay, so let's get Stage clear should be the easiest thing to knock out first, but I'm gonna need oh, node probably. Yeah, like out. Nope. Layout. Let's layout. On. Anchor that dead center. Here, texture, quick load. Yeah, this will do for now. And this on cloud node vbox. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just setting up the I'm setting up the actual window with like the stage clear information in it, just so that we can have that. Control 2. Go idle node. I don't know. Here we're gonna do. We want this one, that, and this. Then we're gonna come over here, gonna do this. Hang on a minute, actually, we want up here in the stage clear and actually on. Into here. All right, we have to actually fix the fix the region. So if you're wondering why it looks like this, we need to actually fix the region of this a little bit better so that it judges properly. So what I'm doing here with this is properly lining it so that it like actually hang on a second, I have to do it the other way around. Save this. I need to check one thing. Not that one. Unspinner canvas. Oh, where is it? Text box. know I did a 9. I know I did a 9 of this before. It looked correct. I just don't remember how I did it. Right, this is what I think we have to. There we go. There we go. Much better. Had to like slightly adjust the. So with the, let me explain what I did here. So the idea is that with a 9 patch rect, right? The idea is that you want to, with the 9 patch rect, the idea is that basically you take a sprite and cut it into 9 parts, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ideally, you want to set it up so that any of the parts that would need to stretch in size are covered in the 5th spot in the middle, right? Anything else that should keep roughly the same proportions, you want outside, you want like the corners and things like that, you want in these regions out here. So all I had to do is kind of like just adjust the boundaries a little bit so we could like properly get it to like split out like that. Okay, good. Add this. I don't know. Out. Size. I like text label. Expand it out to cover all of that. On. This is. constant top up like a good right. So the idea is that we have this vertical box container, right? And the vertical box container will have within it all of the things, like basically just the things that we need to be laid out vertically. So like the Windows title, as well as like players' statistics, like the time, enemies defeated, etc. Add child node. Table. Oh. Margin node. That's the title text node. This is the stats text node over here. Gonna have it expand out to this. Time. Enemies. Time. For enemies. Right? Nice and simple. Because if I was gonna, like, we can just do time, score, enemies defeated. Nice and easy, right? Now over here in theme overrides, we can font sizes and 8. Now we can't see it, but that's because I need to like adjust over here in the layout. That's the minimum size. Like a little bigger, or it's not gonna be able to. There we go. As you can see, the box container, we have that. Title margin node, we have that. Title text node, that part. So here, rather than doing that, let's just change this to a margin container. And the reason why we want a margin container is that it will like actually force this. It'll let us like force these into the margin. With this margin container node, we can come over here to where it says theme overrides constants, and we can like force them to keep a very specific margin away from the sides, which helps keep things a little neater, right? So cool. We got, and now we have like the stage clear right there, right? And now we can come over here. We're going to come into the script, and we're going to do another control node for the stage clear info. Export control stage node, right? Stage clear parent control node, parent control node for these here. Right, and I have two ways that I can handle this. Hang on. Bosses. Right. Value. The next is HUD. Boss node. Okay. Here to connect to. Hey Vallejo, how you doing? Hopefully well. Really, what we want to do is to make sure that we can like properly show and hide and other such things. This, so we're gonna do public aid. Show. Hello, pretty right. Most good happenings today. Good. So there are a couple of different things that I could do at this point. Ah. All right. You know what? No, I don't want to make another script for. I was sitting and thinking about it because it's like I could make a script for the stage clear windows. The stage clear window also knows how to do that, and I could, but I don't want to right now. I'm gonna do export button here button button export text clear. That's text. Text. That's block. One second here. Over here. Stage clear info. Alright, so I'm going to come over here to the stage clear info. I'm going to go to the stats text node. I'm going to copy this text. First, ready. We want. Okay, the HUD is invisible anyway. Then we're gonna do. Clear. Continue button. Clear parent control node dot. Full is false. So start the game. We can't see either of those things. Baller. Okay. You have the instance of that set up. Okay, cool. So what's okay? So basically, what should happen then is I'm gonna test this in level 1 just to make sure that this works correctly, and it should. Yeah, I don't know why that's breaking. I know what I forgot to do. Over here in the HUD, to assign 3 things. This, and this. So probably what I should do at some point is that I need to go to the My button and actually see if I can turn its particular configuration into a button theme and use that instead. Like a thing that Godot specifically does for like letting you reuse the properties of like certain things like text and things like that. If you turn it into a theme, you can then reuse it across multiple things without having to like do the thing over and over and over. But that is a problem for future me to solve. Wrong scene. Right scene. All right, good. So that works. That's good. State machine game. Ready, play, pre-boss node. We're gonna do game state post boss. Hi, hello. My microwave has died. How's everyone doing? We are doing all right. Though I am sorry to hear that your microwave died. Though that is a bummer. Don't like to hear that. So, but yeah, we're doing all right, Kettle. How are you? Well, aside from your microwave dying, how are you doing? 8 boss death. Export public. Cool. Right. I gotta check everything out. Oh, that's why. I need public. It's update state. There we go. Public. Right. I need temp one before placing one over the oven, but otherwise doing great. Public override update state. I'm gonna do that. Oh right. I'm so happy. So, I didn't even think this through. I'll tell my father about that. So, something that I really, really like about Godot I'm going to say this again. So if this was Unity, right, I would have to sit down and make a timer in this state with a variable where I go, okay, variable, do me a favor, keep counting this up, and once we hit this time period, you switch. I don't have to do that in Godot. I can do public void on death timer timeout do I'm so happy about this, and y'all will see what I mean by this in a minute. I need another one. So we just need node game state dialog. We're gonna do ready. Dialog is gonna be here at the bottom, and so is we're gonna have game state. Results, just because this order doesn't particularly matter because I'm going to be making sure that I go directly in terms of like ordering which ones. Boss. Boss. That. Boss. So on boss death timer timeout. We'll come back to this in a minute. I'm just setting up a couple of different states real quick just so that we can check this. How good is Godot with regards to plugin and third-party stuff, like including? What do you mean by including RPG Maker? You're gonna have to specify that a little bit more. Because as far as like installing like Godot plugins, the process is relatively straightforward for a given project. Like me, yeah, that one is probably a no, because here's the thing, right? Well, it depends on what you mean by parts, right? Because Godot is Godot and RPG Maker is RPG Maker. If you use RPG Maker Unite, that's entirely Unity based. RPG Maker, MZ, MV, most of the RPG Maker, except for like RPG Maker Unite, all the RPG Maker engines are built as their own proprietary things. There is, at least not right now that I know of, any particular way that you're going to get any cross communication between this and Godot. If you're doing Godot, you're doing Godot. If you're doing RPG Maker, you're doing RPG Maker. There's no, and if assuming that I'm understanding the question correctly, there is no parts in that particular sense. It's one or the other. Now, if you're talking about something like, I'm going to go into RPG Maker and use its character generator to make sprites that I then use in Godot, technically that is doable in the sense that you can just produce a sprite sheet. But I think that with the way that RPG Maker does some of its licensing stuff, you're not supposed to use character generator stuff from RPG Maker in anything aside from RPG Maker products. That is like maybe the closest that you could get to the thing that I think you're asking. But that complication being what it is, you wouldn't be able to get away with that particularly. Okay, I kind of want to blend genres, but that may be too big for my britches. Yeah, like the fact, yeah. Basically, if you're doing genre blending, then you use a more generalist engine and you put the things together manually, right? Because if it's like, I want to do an RPG that's also a something else, you might as well go to like a Unity or an Unreal or a Godot and build the systems manually. if that's the thing that you want to do, right? Alternatively, because of the way that like RPG Maker MZ is structured, if you know how to use JavaScript, you could theoretically, to certain limits, like conk around inside of the RPG Maker MZ engine and like fuck around and like make a couple of things that are like a little bit higher up on that scale, but you have to be confident in your ability to do JavaScript stuff if you're going to be altering stuff like that. Process that. Oops. Also a state. What I want to do here now is go to the post boss and say that on the timer timeout, go to that. So, but putting off, I think I might use RPG Maker's prototype. It's not quite what I had in mind for my game, but putting off making game, yeah, like, yeah, the enemy is always hesitation. The enemy is always hesitation. Mm-hmm. As Sekiro puts it, yeah, hesitation is defeat. So, right, here's the thing I was getting really excited. Yeah, it was in fact the Crow of Ashina, or the Tengu of Ashina, who is, yeah. Mm-hmm. I just wish the guys on RPG Maker that I found weren't in video format. I found only one that wasn't. Yeah. Yeah. I do have an RPG Maker game that I did make that is technically playable, but I haven't done any rebalancing of like the skills or anything. And it is extremely, extremely short. And I said to myself, I need to like I should probably release it. But it's still like hilariously empty and not really much of anything, and I feel a type of way about it. Because I'm like, I would like to release it for money, and it's like not feature complete enough for that. And I also haven't had time because, you know, but oh right. So I had a brain fart, sorry. But here is the trick, right? I was talking about a thing that I was really excited about timers, and then my brain stopped. I gotta reveal my chain of thought. So here's the cool thing, right, about Godot, and this is why I like Godot a lot. I need a timer so that the post boss state doesn't immediately transition into like the results screen, because there's supposed to be like a death animation with like the explosion and all that other stuff, right? Here's how we can handle that without having to do a bunch of extra programming. I select the node this here that says post boss, and I hit add child node. I make a timer node. I set that timer node to whatever value, and I do one shot and auto start. Well, not auto start. I wanted to do one shot. I do not auto start it. And there's a reason why I don't auto start it. Over here now in the game states post boss, we're going to do export timer. And then we're going to do death timer node. Well, actually, right. And then what we're going to do is on start, public override on start, right? We're going to do death timer node dot start. And this is why we don't have it automatically started. Death timer node will only begin once we have entered into the post boss state. So let's say, for example, we have some dialogue we want to run after the boss is damaged, right? We can then have the boss on its defeat. We can have the boss then go, oh no, like I need to go open up a dialogue and do all this other stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then we have it switch over to the post boss state after the dialogue is done running, so it can like explode and do whatever, right? Once it enters the post boss state, that's when we want the death timer node to go off. And then once the death timer times out, we're going to switch over to the result state. Now, all we really need to do is connect this to timer expiring, which is really, really simple, believe it or not. Over here in Godot now, right? Two things. First, we grab this thing, take this timer, and we throw it in here. We're also going to rename this so it's like boss death timer, right? Now, we're going to come over to the boss death timer. We're going to switch over to where it says node. We're going to come over here to where it says timeout and double click it. We're going to go find the game state post boss. And we're going to hit pick. And we can just hit this. And then we can hit connect. Right? So now that we've done that, when the boss is dead, bam, done. We're good. We are set and everything is handled. Right? Nice and simple. So, hang on. At some point, I should make a proper study of how to do a proper singleton pattern in this, and I really should. And I need to, but I haven't bothered. Well, better no time than now. Waterfox less of a resource hog compared to Firefox. I want to say yes. gonna want to hold on to these two. Okay. So I think I may want to do something a little bit different here. Script. There. All right. So ideally, what should happen, right, is that basically, all right, I need to actually put a code over here. So, Water Fox has generally been less of a resource hog, and also because Mozilla is on some kind of shady stuff, in terms of like, I don't remember the specifics off the top of my head right now, but Mozilla being on some shady stuff and WaterFox being basically a fork that is not related to it means that if Mozilla decides to be on shady stuff with like AI or whatever, we can kind of like get around that. I might give it a go. Just hit it. Yeah, I think it should let you port the bookmarks over without having to do it manually. At least there should be a way for it to like pick it up from like Chrome or Firefox and do it. I think because I didn't really have to spend that. I didn't have to spend that long doing it when I set it up. Not that I can remember anyway. Um. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do upload. and I'm gonna hold that right there for right now. Okay. I should- Okay. Titles. Why so many browsers? It's mostly because, to a certain degree, as computers have gotten more powerful, to a certain degree, people have not been incentivized to stay on top of memory management nearly as much. That's really, at least that's a significant part of it as far as I am currently aware. A lot of it mostly just has to do with the fact that like don't really have a reason to manage your memory nearly as well as you should. That's my general understanding, but I could also be entirely incorrect about that. Sorry. I know I'm making funny noises, but my brain also sometimes just like literally stops. I'm trying to think through a bunch of complicated things. Okay. I wonder if there's plugins that can help. Yeah, no, with that kind of thing, it's straight up a people have to program the app more efficiently, so to speak. That's not like a thing that like plugins can necessarily in a general sense. That is not a thing that plugins can generally fix. Is the way to put that. That's are people like doing the thing that they should be doing and like programming it efficiently or not, or at least programming it to not like use a lot of resources. If they're not doing that, then shikata ga nai, that kind of thing. Okay, I probably forgot at least a couple things, but we're just gonna let it rip at least once, and let me see how many things break, and then we can look at it from there. I am technically making probably too many sweeping changes. Oh, hang on. I know why that's doing that. I didn't do that. Hang on. I know why it's not doing that. I have to go over to this thing, come over here, turn on the auto start for the state machine, and make sure that it starts starts on the ready state. That's what I forgot. But now that I've done it over here, if I go over to level 1, it should be fine now. I couldn't make it. So yeah, at some point I do have to like actually program in what to do when that happens. And there's a couple other steps that go into managing that I'm gonna have to like sit down and like work out properly. Put it in the wrong spot. Good. Got them right before they went off screen. Alright, good. Okay, good. That works. This works, and I'm satisfied about that. I am happy that this works. I need to go fix the music to like actually stop, but that's easy. The point is that this comes in and does what it needs to do. Also, hey KT, good to see you. All right, let's see. Okay, post state. Want to do? I need audio manager dot stop. Hang on. Right. Why is it not? Okay. That's what I thought. Okay, I don't need to do that. It's like audio manager. That's why stop music. I need. Yeah. And then results. I need. How many fucking Kung Fu men? Wait a minute. I'm so silly. I can just do upload. Oh, it's. Why can I never remember how to do a dictionary when I need to, right? Uh, yeah. Honestly, Kettle, I could not tell you. Um, no resource loader. All to wanna do. Okay, so I just have to do the actual path. For res path. Nope, not what I'm talking about. Trying to see if I can figure out a thing, but anyway, hold on. I'll figure it out later. I'm thinking too hard. And getting sidetracked. Thinking too hard and shouldn't do that. So let's just do this instead. RPG Maker XP uses Ruby. I know a little Ruby, most Ruby on Rails. Yeah. If you know enough of it, with RPG Maker XP in particular, you can poke around in ways that you couldn't with RPG Maker, like the ones before XP, and really get some stuff in. I never did a stage clear. All right, hold on. I'm gonna do this quick so I can go digging my. I'm just gonna go grab another song, just like just a quick one. Keep on making them as long as it. Yeah, pretty much. As capitalism does, effectively speaking. Hey, Sibira. It is going. We are currently in all game. Gotta have a prototype out by end of March, early April mode, which mostly involves now me knocking things off of deadline stuff. So your boy is at it again. Krispy Kreme. Audio manager. Yeah, it's going pretty good. How's it with you? Hopefully well. Build. Nothing broke. Good. All right. Let's go. All right, now that we're actually getting off. Okay, we got our home improvement loan approved, so it's one less stressor. Excellent. Ah. Oh, this is nasty. Oh, this is nasty. This is nasty. Ah, fuck. I put my bomb out like a second too late. And so I got. So yeah, the basic idea behind, and I may have to just like widen the shot angle a little bit. 1, 2, 3. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're living. We're living. We're living. We're living. We're living. Oh, that's gonna be nasty. Um, Things that I am planning on doing. I'm going to probably extend this stage by like a I know. No. Ah, shba. I'm probably going to extend the stage by a couple of waves before the prototype comes out, just so that you have more opportunities to pick up either a double shot or a speed shot. Because without either of those, that fight gets a lot harder. Um, it is, but not by virtue of the fact that it's hard coded to be so. It's that the if I could pause, I'd explain. Hang on. Pause. By virtue of the fact that bombs are set up to do like 10 HP, which is more than what you as the player have, yes, but it's not like a hard coded thing. Like I could sit down, duplicate a bomb, and change the parameters on it, and it would do less. Um, in the same way, I could also duplicate the bomb, make the timer longer for the boss bomb specifically, and have the boss only put out that bomb. I have there are ways that it can be tuned. But right, this a lot of the what I was focusing on most is like top down, sort of like can I make it work stuff. So like a lot of the error, not error, that's not the right way. A lot of like the difficulty tuning stuff is a little bit later. Um, no, go away, please. All right. So yeah, you do also have like this dead spot that you can use to just like make it a little bit easier in that particular sense. All I really would have to do is like widen the and all right, good. Then all I have to do is like assign that and have it do some other stuff, which I can do now because I know that this works. That's the only thing I really wanted to test. Um, I could also just like, for example, make the boss have like less HP. There are a couple of different levers that I could use to tune the difficulty of that in different ways. Um, Mostly the main objective insofar as that fight, regardless of which levers I have to tune, is that I want to like get players used to the idea of, oh yeah, if you see regular enemies drop a bomb later on in the game, hey, you can shoot that down before it explodes, etc. Right? So however, whatever particular way I used to tune it to make it a little easier for them to do that, um, that's the main lesson I want to sort of impart. Before having like regular enemies go out and do it, that would not be ideal. Uh, but okay, so right, that all works. I need to connect the button. That's the thing I was trying to think of. Connect the button and then have it go back to the title screen, which is pretty easy to do. I can handle that. That should not be too much of an issue. I just gotta put together where I need to look for that. Over to the HUD, continue button over there. Okay. My head hurts a little. On button pressed. Right, there's that one. I gotta figure out how to connect that in a little bit. Did I make the okay? Stage clear, continue. Okay, it is already a thing. Cool. It's already there. I think I should be able to All right, stage clear window is there. Following the logic back in my head a little bit. So I can just kind of like wire everything back together. Brain is, I can feel brain like cooking just a little bit in my skull, but it's okay. All right. Here, export. Uh, there it is, screen transition. Okay. Thank you for your donation of the brain cell, KT. I do need it. I truly do appreciate. Okay, I did put a function in there that makes it do that. Oh, that's based. Thank you, past me. Thank you so much for doing that. I'm so grateful to you for thinking of that. Um, Sweet Papa Jesus. All right. Um, Result state. We're gonna go over here. Gonna do this. Let's see if I. All right. So we can do public static transition named string target. Don't include comments. I need. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to adjust the way that this works at some point. I'm gonna have to at some point because this is not quite set up the way that it. I have an idea for how to make this work correctly. Okay. Yeah, this is close enough. Set the pathway. Means right. Slash levels. Slash. Yeah. Okay. Otherwise, it should do that. Okay, good. Now we should be able to just do title screen. One other spot where this is. Results. Title scene. And save. Now the only thing we need to do, go back over to Godot. I need to go HUD. Oh, right. The connection's going to be the hard part. Okay. I think I got this. I think I can do this. HUD dot inst dot state dot. Can't access it. Know how to fix that. Go to the HUD over here. Right. This part. We need this to be public. Get it, but it is a protected set so that way other scripts can't change what button that is. Button dot button down, button down plus equal title. I think, right, should handle it. Then Godot get focused. Go set focus. It did in the title screen. Here. There it is. That's useful. So the thing I'm doing right now is making sure that the results button actually, right? So if I do this, I can just do that, grab, focus, and it will be focused when we come in, right? All right. So level 1, run it. Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna do the error thing again. Yes, I know. I don't know why it's doing that. I gotta put in another pull request with Pennycook at some point to see if we can maybe get that one fixed too. But all right, good. We got a double. Thank God. Yeah. At some point, the plan is to probably put at least another 2 or 3 waves in just to give players more of a shot of getting. Oof. Okay, there we go. So yeah, bombs are not instant kill. It's fine because we got the kill. Even though we're dead, we got the kill. We just gotta wait. Good. Oh, it almost works. It almost works. It almost works. It's almost perfect. We're almost there. We're almost there. I'm very sad. We're almost there. It just doesn't transition out correctly. We're almost there. It just doesn't do the it just does not transition correctly. Um I need to go put this in the I need to go put this in the grab this. I need to go over into the yarn script and go yarn before I forget. Because I will forget. And then it will break, and then future me is going to. So I'm going to do it while I have last shreds of my brain power as far as this is concerned. I don't. So I don't forget it. Okay, good. I grabbed that. That's good. The only thing now is that we got to get this to properly transition out of this scene and back to the title. Do that, then we're good. I think. All right. Come over here. I need no bind button C sharp. Okay, pressed. That's why I did the wrong. I had a feeling it might have been the wrong. It might have been the wrong thing, but I wasn't sure. So over in the adults, we don't want button down. We want pressed. Right. So once the button is pressed, go to the title. Hold on. We're gonna string path string C path equals. That print path. Make sure that we're doing this correctly. Right. Title. Okay. Did I say title? Sure that I said title screen. Knew I didn't. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew that I had a feeling. I'm like, maybe I also just like screwed up the name that was supposed to be in there. Knew it. I knew it. Oh, that's foul. That's so foul that I did this. I did this to myself. It's me. So foul. I'm crying, screaming, crying, throwing up. Got it. There we go. Ooh. Ooh. That's so a hit, but it's good. It's good. It's good. We're good. We're good. Okay. We did it. Fuck. Whew. All right. Cool. So it works end to end. It works end to end at least. Where if you clear it, you can go back to start and you're good. Um, sweet. I was sweating for a little bit there. All right. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate it. Okay. Still got like another 45 minutes left for stream. I think we might be able to knock out like let me sit down and properly document so far. Stage clear. Yeah, stage clear works. What else have I done? Play the music, go the stage, go, and give button, and it titles. Dub or do flop title print you know what results action title next stage. Let me just I can remember how to do this correctly. Done. I could literally my brain hurts. No, I made Nenum. Okay. Public. Okay, the test control node isn't doing anything though, so I need to get rid of that because that at this point should not be a thing. So public enum public results options. Title to next stage. Okay, good. Game state results. We can export results options, and we're going to current result. Results button effect. Okay, so I'm gonna do which this we'll figure out at some other point. Sub, make this go to next stage project by some fashion amount. Depending on what the results button effect variable is set to, one of the following things. If told to title, make that click results button title. And then for whenever we do the next stage one, next stage, future proofing it. In fact, I don't even need this anymore. I can cheat put in this thing, what we call a lambda, and do this. And now we don't need another function. We can keep it nice and simple. And if I decide to break it back into a function later, I can. But right now, don't need to do that. Fine. We're just going to go straight to the title screen and not worry about it. Oh, I don't even need this then. Don't need that. Current assigned effect. Then we click the continue button. Results. All right. Cool. Right now. So hang on. I saw it. I will in fact go hydrate. None to title to next stage. Come over to. I just got to do this while my brain keeps the while my brain keeps what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. Because if I get up now, like right before I finish the thing that I'm thinking of, I guarantee I will forget what I was doing. I'm gonna scream. It'll be very sad. Results button effect is to title. Okay. Hydrate. Doing that now. Thank you, Doc. I appreciate it. How you doing? Hopefully well. Whew. Okay. Whew. All right. Awesome. That's handled now. I guess I had an idea about how to handle this and not going to worry about it yet. For what the button at the results. I guess I could also do an enum for the level, like the internal level names. Public enum kernel level title scene level. Hang on. Reason why I'm doing it, you'll see why I'm doing it like this in a minute. There is a reason why I'm doing it like this, to slightly adjust the chance that I'm going to make horrible typos like I did before. Like this, for example. Title one level. Right now we only have title screen. You may be wondering why these aren't in caps like all of the other things that I have going on here. Level. It's because what I'm gonna do is all I have to do is put them in this spot, and then at some point, if I do internal level names dot title screen dot to string, it will give me exactly this string, so I can't fuck up the spelling, and screw myself over. Case in point, I'll show you what I mean. If I come over to results and I do, for example, internal level names dot title screen dot to string, it will literally turn title screen into title screen as a string, and it cannot be screwed up. And my life will be made much easier. Hmm. Pondering. Forgot to mention it. Early today, I was looking through Discord, different indie games I'm following, and in one of them, the developer got called an armchair developer in a Discord for their own game because they said a suggestion would be hard to implement and the person wasn't paying attention to who was saying things. Kind of a twisted moment of Zen for things. So what I'm hearing basically is that people can't read. Let me rephrase that differently. I'm sorry. That comes off the wrong way. What I'm hearing is that people are choosing to be dense and not pay attention to these and not pay attention to these things. Like, whoa, huh? I'm having an active conversation with somebody on a text-based medium. Maybe the thing that I should do is like stop and actually read who was saying what. It's a text-based medium, and it's really important that I in fact stop and pay attention for a second to who is saying this thing, or I open my mouth and run it like I don't have no common sense. That's what I'm hearing. That also sounds like the kind of thing you put somebody in Discord timeout for a little while. We used to have this thing at the spot where I was working where the students that were being particularly disruptive, right? If they'd already been like checked and gotten a warning, what we would do is we had a role that we would give and we put it on them. You can't join voice channels, you can't talk in voice channel. You can join voice channels, but you can't talk. What's going on in text channels, but you can't type. Little timeout to keep you honest. That's what that kind of thing might earn. If I was angry enough, I'd be like, you really just sat here and called a person who is working on this game, who has said, oh, that would be kind of hard to implement. You're calling me an armchair developer. You couldn't. Uh-uh. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. The absolute disrespect of how gentle you are. Like, you and I wouldn't be so nice. Like I said, if I was in a good mood and I wasn't feeling like testy, if I was feeling testy, I'd be like, nah, you can hold a ban. You're gonna sit here and like talk to me like if you're gonna sit here and talk to me like you ain't got common like a courtesy in a conversation, an extended like a conversation we're having, where it's a text-based medium where you can stop and look and see who is it that responded to me. What flares do they have in Discord? Maybe I should pay attention to these things before I open my. Mm 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 mm. Unless an apology was swift and coming, you can leave. Like straight up. Like you can test you can try somebody that's not me. Test God, not me. I thank God we got a double. I'm so happy we got a double. That makes my life so much easier. But yeah, this is why I'm going to make the waves longer, so you have a better shot of getting a double a, a double spread. Because without a double spread, this fight becomes way harder. With one, you can just do this and you're fine. The timer's on 10, which is why it's so long. Because, you know, right? And you can go into like these menus and stuff, but they don't do anything yet. And then if you do start, you go to the actual. Let me make sure that I didn't break this actually. Um, I'm just testing this to make sure I didn't break it because I didn't make sure I didn't break the tutorial when I was doing other stuff. Oh, that reminds me, I need to make a server for the Steam. Oh yeah. Oh, that is a whole other thing to consider, huh? All right, got an end-to-end loop, y'all. Do the end-to-end loop. It works, and we're good, and that's good. Ah, damn, right as the ad hit too. But yeah, we can do it. We can do a nice end-to-end, and that all works. So now, for those of you that are not in ad hell, now you get to see me sit and think about how we want to handle game overs. Because even though KT is here, obviously I'll take feedback from her because you know team member and all that. Now I have because I am because I am the creative lead. It's functionally my decision as to how this works out. So uh, I was not thinking about doing a live system the way that like old school do it. Not particularly. Um, Mostly because I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing on its face, but I'm also not here to like make the game difficult in that particular sense. Um, so I have like no issue with like just making it do like basically functionally unlimited continues. I have no issue with making it do like unlimited continues, but I just need to mostly make sure that if I were to do that, this is where the complication comes, right? Um, if you just respawn automatically, I have to make sure that the auto spawner stops when you have died, right? Once you have died, I have to make sure that the auto spawner stops. And once you've revived, I have to make sure it turns on, which thankfully I don't think should be too difficult. I don't think. I may have to set it up one way or the other so that when certain connections happen at specific points, right? That is when those connections happen. Um, Either well, let me. I know that the enemy spawner should already be in. Yeah, the enemy spawner is already in the scene and always will already be in the. So I could probably have the player set it up such that the player registers. Oh yeah, when I die, go to the enemy spawner, do this thing. That should work without a problem. Mostly, it's just a matter of making sure that um, auto spawn turns off when the player has died and comes back on when the player has revived. That's pretty much the way that we need to handle it, I think. And I think that's doable. I just have to sit down and think about it for a second. Um, yeah, we're just gonna do that. I think we're just gonna go with it for right now. We're gonna go with an auto revive from the spot that they died. Because basically speaking, right, with the way that this is set up right now, um, if you look at the enemy spawner, the actual waves are basically just these nodes right here, right? So if I literally wanted to add more waves of enemies, I literally just make more of these wave nodes, put more enemies under them, and it will go from there. The thing about this is that unless we reload the level, right, or we force it to like roll back to whatever, then it will resume where it left off, which is honestly preferable, I think. The latter part, like we're not here to punish people by like I think like I said, I don't want the game to be difficult necessarily in the sense that like old school shmups are. Because I'm pretty sure I could devise a way to make yeah, I'm pretty sure I could devise a way to make the enemy spawner start over from the very top. I could do that very easily, I'm pretty sure. Right? But right now, that would involve wiring up or making more functionality than is currently there. It's kind of pain to think about that right now. So instead, let me see if I can do it like this. I think I can. So, uh, want to change it later. We're Gucci. I vote for whatever's going to be easiest for. I appreciate that. Okay, so destroy player. So the main thing is that I have not destroyed the player in the literal sense of like removing them from the screen and like taking them out of out of memory. I just hide them. I turn off the hitbox and I turn off the hurt box. Right. Now I can just duplicate this, do void 5-player, when enabled true. So can move, can shoot. So do these things, right? Now, health script dot health needed plus equals. I'm going to do a lambda function again. Enemy spawner. Come on, brain, work with me here. Enemy spawner dot inst dot auto spawn. Nope. Need to do dot set auto spawn is false. Then over here, when we revive the player, I'm going to do set auto spawn. Oh, wait. Pause. Pause. I should do something very important here. If important. If come on, if don't do that. I'm not. Don't stop doing that. I just need you to do the other one. Thank you. If boss engaged is false, then we can change this. If the boss is not already spawning for whatever reason, then change the auto spawn value. Okay, right. So player script. Oh wait, no, let me do it like this. Let me do it like this actually. Pre-boss engaged equal and value true turn. Print hot if the boss is this is a fail safe just to make sure that if, because it could happen. Like there's like weird edge cases that could come up. I'm just trying to like protect against one. The basic idea here is that the pre-boss engage, which is what I've been using to sort of like, right? So the pre-boss is the alert state where it's like warning, where it does the warning thing with dangerous engagement and all that. That's what the pre-boss engaged is for. So we're trying to just make sure that if that has already kicked in, that we cannot turn the auto spawner back on. That's a no. We're not doing that. And it's because it's not supposed to, right? So this return here should force it to like kick out and stop and not reach this line on the off chance that that happens. But just to be explicit about it, because I want to be sure, and we don't have to, I'll just do an if else actually. So basically speaking, right? If the pre-boss has, if the pre-boss, so like if the alert for the boss has gone off or is yet to gone off or is set up to go off, and we're trying to turn the auto spawner back on, print this message and don't change the auto spawn value Lamau. It's basically a defensive measure just to make sure that like, oh yeah, we're already in the boss stage, but then we've turned on the auto spawner, right? We are using Godot. Um, so hi v.exe. We are using Godot. Um, usually like when, yeah, we're using Godot. It's in the on stream right there. But yeah, we're using Godot. I wrote the original form of Shoot Lancer in Unity a while back, but after the whole license debacle with Unity, I and the team made the executive decision for the other game that we were working on in Unity to be like, you know what, we should not, we should not with Unity actually. So C# and Godot specifically is what we're using for development. Yeah, they rolled it back, but it's like we can't really trust that, you know. So they rolled even if they rolled it back, it's like we can't really trust that they are going to operate in good faith ever anymore. So let's just yeah, Luda Chacanis or aka KT, she's also working with me on this project. So yeah, we had a long, the whole team had like a long conversation about that. We're like, nah, we can't do this. We got to get up into something else. Um, and Unreal is basically Unreal is full of a bunch of arcane stuff and also doesn't support C#. And C++ is scary. And C++ is also one of those things that if I had time and a lot more runway to like actually sit down and grapple with Unreal and C++, I would have considered that. But I was like, no, I would rather actually Godot. Um, just because we have the C# support, and generally speaking, insofar as like my learning process has been going with this, it has been wild in a couple ways, but the C# support is mature enough with Godot now that I don't have nearly as much hurdles as I did the last time I tried to learn C#. Yeah, Unity Unreal is much harder than Unity. Yeah, I tried. I've tried Unreal like once or twice, and I literally just like chrome off of it. It's hard. So I'm just like, nah, we're not doing that. Okay, hang on. Give me 1 second, V. Sorry, I gotta like sit down and think really hard about this. Even with blueprints, there's just so much in Unreal. Yeah, I originally thought about doing like a round robin of engines, but there's so many peeps on Godot that's like it's not a question. Yeah, yeah. Like a lot of people, I don't know for sure because I've been looking at social media as hard there. But like a lot of people, it feels like who were really more like the smaller scale end of things that were like, I want to like use a game engine and not have to do so much of rolling my own. Most of them immediately pivoted from Unity to Godot. Um, from what my experience has kind of like yielded, which makes sense. But okay, let's see. All right, give me 1 second to realign what my brain cells were doing with what I was planning on doing. Right. So we did death and the revive thing. Right. That's what it is. We have to bridge the gap a little bit. Hold on. I don't feel like making a whole new menu right now. I'm gonna do the least painful implementation of this. I'm going to do the least painful implementation. That's what we're going to do. That is what we're going to do because otherwise, um, I'm I'll get really really tired really really fast. Don't want to do that. So let's see. So here's how we're going to do this. We're going to do export timer auto revive timer node, right? And here's what we're going to do. When our health is depleted, we're going to do health. So health script. And this is why I like Godot, for example, right? Because I'm like, I want to do this on an automatic timer. A couple things I have to do. First off, I just set it up so that when our health runs out, right? Once it's depleted, here's what we do. Do revive auto reviver timer node. Start the timer node, right? And then I'm going to put this over here. So public void on reviver on revival timer time out. Two things we're going to do. Health script dot we're going to do restore as a we're going to do restore as opposed to increase because increase we're going to do restore health. So then I can say increase max health later. And we're going to do revive player, right? Now watch this. This is code backend stuff, right? So once the revival timer is done, we'll restore health, revive the player. Watch this now. If it was Unity, I would have to sit down at some point and go find some spot in here to like make the timer count up normally or go spin off a coroutine or whatever. I don't have to do any of that here. Very nice, easy thing I can do. Peep this. Same thing I did when I did the game state post boss and I made the boss death timer. Same thing here. Watch this now. Add child node, timer, player, revival timer. Right? I'm going to put it on one shot. I'm going to give it a 3-second revival timer. Right? It is not going to auto start. One shot, 3 seconds. Over to the player script over here. Did I remember to build the thing? I did not. Give me 1 second. I forgot. Save this. I have to build it again to make sure that this shows up. Timer node for automatically reviving after dying. Keep this. grab this. I'm gonna go throw it up under the same spot under the spin timer node. Save this, do this. I have to build it so that Godot knows, oh right, export means show it in the inspector. So I have to rebuild it to make sure that it remembers to show in the inspector. Auto revive timer node. Click on that. Player revival timer. Bam. Timer's up. Timer's set. Easy. And then I immediately hit the wrong scene to test to prove that this works. So excuse me for a second while I scream. All right. Level 1. Come over here. I am going to stand in the way of fire and see if I die. Oh. Sorry, I forgot one thing. I messed up. I messed up. I forgot one thing. I have to come over to the timer, come over to where it says node over here, and go to where it says timeout over here and double click that. I make sure I point back up here at the player node and I hit pick and I do this. I forgot to actually connect the timer and the signal. So I forgot to connect the timer back to the function. Now it will work. I forgot that part. That's the only part I forgot. But do you see how easy that is? You see how easy that is? There are a lot of people who are like, yeah, like building nodes like you do in Godot is, if you're not careful about the compositing, it can become kind of a mess. But yeah, right? Like even if, for example, I was to like and it's long because of like right? And then there we go. Pretty cool, don't? Right? Okay. Last thing that I think we can maybe sneak in here real quick. Just for some memes. Not like bad memes, but like good memes. Um Now, give me 1 second. I'm going to switch off of this for a minute. We're not done, but whenever I have to go digging around back in like old project files in order to make things like for old project files, in order to make sure that I'm like not like exposing things on the computer that y'all don't need to see, I have to like switch. I have to switch over like this because I don't have another monitor to do this with. So personal, I gotta go digging back into like the Unity build or into the Unity version of Viral Core Busters to go pull out to go pull out a script formatting that I like to use for this sort of thing. But I have to figure out where I put it. Game states clear. Just grab it with Notepad real quick. There's like 3 different things I have to dig through in order to find this. It's gonna be kind of a pain. Okay, so it's in the extensions, I think. Okay. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I got to do a couple things on the back end without showing them, and then we should be okay. This system. Oh wait, hang on. Huh? Tension. Oh, I already did. Huh. Okay, cool. So that, and we'll do double. Okay, stretch. Not a guide. Yeah, it's not a guided stretch. Just me doing like a regular one. But thank you, Valk, for the stretch reminder. Okay. Oof. That was good. Okay, I think that should be enough. I just got to make sure I close. All right, I guess I can also grab that extension and put it also that thing, and we should be all right. Okay, extensions over here. I'm gonna grab this and drop this off over here, just because that's useful to have. Okay, so we're gonna do that, and then over here we're gonna do stage playtime. Cool. Now let's go to the results and show stage clear windows, right? And now we can game, hang on, game states dot play dot this. Okay, cool. So what this should do, basically. So TLDR, what's happening here? I let me come over here. Converts a I'm not using float seconds, so I don't need this one. Converts a double value seconds into a formatted string of 0, x, y, where night stubby x is minutes, y is seconds, and z is seconds. It's like the last thing, but I just wanted to get it in. Raw double raw value of how many seconds have passed converted in like pass as a double turns a string minutes, seconds, and milliseconds it took to string in the form of x, y, z, where x is yep. Okay, cool. And say, all right, and we can hold that for later because that will be useful for something later. So, ideally, now, if I did this correctly, right, as long as the game is in a playing state, so the in-game timer, for example, will pause at any point that we're not in game state.play. So, like in-game times and all of that will be rendered slightly differently from what we would call like a real-time attack, or what the Japanese call like a real-time attack in speedrunning, where it's like, oh right, it is based on the actual time that elapses outside of the game's timer. I think I might be able to test this and have it done before we get hit by the next ad. I'm gonna try. We made it. We made it. We made it. We made it. We're good. We're Gucci. It's okay. Okay, yeah, it works. But I put it in the wrong spot. It works, as you can see. But I put the code in the wrong spot. It works, which I'm happy about. That's fine, but I put it in the wrong spot. What do I mean by that? Well, assuming that I can unscramble my brain long enough to remember where this belongs, I will demonstrate what I mean by that. So over here, I was not paying attention and I split these the wrong way. So if I get rid of this, up here, we're good. I forgot that that was there. So now it should be fine, and we should get the time first and then the score second. But it works. That's the important part. It was in the wrong spot, but it works. So, whatevs. One. Can I get the last one too? Yes. All right. It's okay. We can afford to die now. And it's okay because we're going to revive. Yeah, basically, with the way that it works, the in game time for each stage will stop when during pausing, because the idea is that the pause state will more than likely be set up. I'm gonna have to rewire a bunch of stuff when I finally get around to like getting a pause function in, which is gonna make me very, very sad. But it's gonna have to be what it is. I will have to figure out a way to like deal with that at some point in the future, but not right now. Um, there's going to be a lot of refactoring that's going to go into that because I realized that I hadn't been planning for it. Oops, gonna save that for later. That's a future me problem. But basically, the in-game timer will not be running at any point when the game state is not in play, which is to say that what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, pre-boss was engaged in auto spawn value was attempted set to true, returning. So yeah, that's why I did that, just to be sure that there is no way for us to like forcibly change the way that the auto spawner works when certain things are happening. Um, very much on purpose, just like a just to make sure thing. But basically, when the game is paused, let me phrase that differently. Ideally, when the game is paused, when the game is or not in the play state. So when the pre-boss alert comes up, the in-game timer should pause, right? When the boss is dead, the in-game timer should pause. When dialogue is running, the in-game timer, get what I'm getting at, right? Like these are the things that will happen, ideally, right? So the in-game timer will only be running in states where you either have some control over the player or the player has died and they're waiting to revive. And that's the basic idea. Hydrate, yes. I will go grab that very quickly because I'm trying to beat the ads so that we don't have to wait when it's time to like raid out, because it is about time to raid out. So uh, okay. So with that, all right, let me go knock out these things here. Close that. Okay. Clear works. Air revival works. Currently infinite. Auto timed to seconds. Timer node 9:14 p.m. Currently infinite. Auto timed 3 seconds with timer node in player. Player cannot fire whilst survived. To-dos. Put revival timer on screen and have it run. Guide. So these to-dos are not necessarily always things that are most immediate to be done. Sometimes they're things that I just remember that I am gonna have to do at some point that I don't have the time to do right now. So I put them into the to-dos so that I at some point remember to go back and do them. At least in terms of things that are like immediately relevant to what we need to be handling right now. Again, looking at right sheets, slicing and prep for and I can't think of anything else right this second. My brain is going on like which is a good sign that I need to stop. I don't know if I beat the ads. Let me check to see when they ran last time. Come on. Okay, okay, they were at the bottom of the hour last time. And I set them to go off about every hour. So we have a little bit of time before the ads go off, like about 12 minutes. But okay, right. Oh, a couple other things. Add extra waves to yeah, I put not priority in like large ass caps to remind myself, don't get sidetracked by this thing. Just remember to take care of it. KT, these wind up in the commit notes at some point. If you ever wonder where do some of these go, so for production purposes, if at any point you look through some of these to-dos, you play the game and you go, where did these go? You can always like yeet these onto the production plan. I just keep them here to remind myself of things to do. But if you're ever looking at those and you're like, oh right, yeah, this is a thing, and you just see it and then you play the game and you're like, where is this thing? Heat it on there. Anyway, right. So thank y'all for coming by stream. I deeply appreciate it. So, plans and portents and things for this upcoming week. Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We're gonna be playing Under Night In-Birth 2 because I got a opportunity. This organization called Daredrop, which basically sets it up so that streamers play games that they have play games that are up on Daredrop's servers, not servers, sorry. Games that are up on Daredrop's website have certain like challenges kind of associated with them, right? And if you're able to do them live on stream and then submit of that, you get a key for whatever other rewards or what have you. So because I already have Under Night 2, and I kind of made the case to somebody at Daredrop, like, hey, I play fighting games. I played Under Night since like the first-ish release that it had overseas in the United States. I got in on like two pretty simple dares, so I can like sit down, we'll grind out some ranked matches, and then submit those to Daredrop and have them hit us back up with some feelies, like maybe 1 or 2 game codes and things of that nature. It won't be same day because I have to like verify it, but once we've done enough to get whatever rewards from the drops, I'll have those and I'll do a little giveaway for those and all that once that's handled. We also have a similar game we have a different game on that we're doing for a Daredrop thing called Slave Zero X. The name sounds kind of wild, but it's basically an action. It's like a side-scrolling action beat 'em up that I think looks really interesting, and I want to give a try. So at some point, probably, I'm thinking that we may either do it for like an hour, if not this Friday, then if it's within the drop window next Friday, we'll do it for like an hour, and then we'll do into like other stuff with Under Night. Sunday, this upcoming Sunday is of course just more Breath of Fire 3. We are maybe within 2 to 3 streams, I think, for Sunday wise, being done with Breath of Fire 3. We're very close. It's gonna depend on how a couple other things go at the end. But we're getting close to the end of that. Aside from that, I think I may have mods asleep, so I'm gonna just drop off commercials myself. I do game analysis and design articles over on Co-Host sometimes. I'm overdue to like sit down and like put some thoughts about Godot and Shootlands up on there. But I forget social media exists sometimes because I've been scrambling to figure out the job thing. But if you want to see some more of those takes, my thoughts about fighting games and things of that nature, you want to go to cohost.org/SGHsGames and check out some of the stuff there. I have some of my past game design articles and stuff are on Medium. And you can check them out over there. Stream bots are up at youtube.com/@SJHsGames. Once Breath of Fire 3 is done, I'm going to sit down and like put a couple of the things into lists and get them going. Because right now, playlists are a little bit out of date, but only by like a couple months. Ko-Fi, if you want to support me in the stream but don't want to give money to Amazon and Jeff Bezos. Honestly, I keep more money out of a $5 a month subscription on Ko-Fi than I do Twitch subs. Never required, always optional, but if you're like, I really want to support like you and what you do, both for like Shootlands and for streaming and whatever in like a more long-term sort of way, one option is monthly subscription on Ko-Fi. My throne has a bunch of gifts on there, from the silly to things like Kamen Rider accessory redemptions for like funny theme things, to slightly more important things like, hey, I want to help crowdfund a new monitor for Eshtay, or I want to help crowdfund a new monitor, a monitor arm for Eshtay, so that when he gets a third monitor, he can like split them accordingly, right? And then my card has all my other social media links, but really I'm primarily just active on Co-Host. Shark, Gilded link for me, please, because my brain is like frying. Last but not least, because Discord is always on some nonsense, while I am in Discord still, for this community personally, I run a Guilded instead. Very similar program to Discord, except that it has like better scheduling features and things of that nature. And it's just generally way more flexible about like letting you, for example, have like forum channels and things like that without having to be a community server or whatever. If you want to like hang out with us when we're not doing stream stuff, watch anime and things of that nature, you can join us on Guilded instead if you don't mind like having another like account that does things. If you don't want to, you don't have to, never required, but just an option for people who like want to hang out and do stuff with the community when we're not like online. Okay, I'm gonna go find us somebody to raid, so don't like disappear on me yet. I'm just gonna go run over to the corner. So Shark is here. Yep, figured. Okay, yep. All right, I know where we're going. Nope, not even a question. We're gonna go hang out with Big Bees because Big Bees is playing a game that I am also really excited for, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to play it for a while. He's currently playing this game called Berserk Boy, which we did play. We got a demo at one point and we played it on the channel. It was a while ago though. But Berserk Boy is a really amazing, high-paced, high-velocity. No, Bees is done. Crap. Crying, screaming, throwing up. All right. Yeah, I'm upsetty. Data Dave. We're gonna go hang out with Data Dave. You should. Yeah, I know. But I'm like looking at it. I'm seeing like literally as his ad thing is running. I see the arcade is closing crawl happening right now. So we're Data Dave. Shark. Dude, sorry. I know you're probably gonna do it in a second. My bad. I didn't mean to rush you. But Data Dave, please. Yeah. Data Dave is a really cool voice actor and variety streamer. He's going to be doing Pokemon Unite and then rolling into Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Hit him with an SJH does raids when we get in. Let him know who sent you. Throw in your favorite emotes, all that other stuff. Whether I see you Friday, Sunday, or next Wednesday, whenever that is. Take care in the meantime, please. Wash your hands, wear a mask. Don't go outside if you don't have to. Be excellent to each other. But not to bigots, racist, terrorists, sexist, anti-queer folks, or Zionists. Remember that Palestinians have a right to self-determination, and therefore Palestine must and should be free. And so should the Sudan. Alright. Also, don't be nice to people who are stinky about studios closing and claim that it's because they went woke. Those are the kind of people that we call gamers derogatory, and they smell, and they're like, ugh, they're gross. Anyway, thank y'all for coming by. I'm trying to beat these ads, so we're eating. I'll catch you next time, whenever that is. Bye.